Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the post-show video wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. My name is Lee Heisman. I'm here today with our guest co-host, Stone Stafford. Stone, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guys, Andrew Rodbell, amazing, the co-founder of Post Meridiem Spirits. First off, if we're talking slow today, I can talk a little more like this. We've been drinking an unbelievable amount of your amazing product here. Guys, listen to the post-show wrap-up. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel and also hit the notifications because great entrepreneurs like Andrew here, you want to know when they're coming onto the show each time.
Question for you. That was the alcohol pause right there. Tell us a little bit about the organization. I mean, PM's, or Post Meridiem, if you will, PM for short, right? It seems very unique on how you do things. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I started the business because I wanted to add authenticity and disrupt the ready-to-drink category. And we wanted to create a drink that was well beyond beer. And the result was we ended up with these little cans because the cans picked us. When you use real ingredients, you need to protect those real ingredients. And that's what we did. And we use ingredient transparency just to make sure people know what they're getting and have a recognizable drink. So the flattering part of building this business is that we've connected with a lot of consumers. We're in 10 states and counting. And we've now won the highest awards in the industry. So not bad for two guys that started a company 5 years ago and are in a little warehouse in West Midtown.
Well, before I ask you about the locality of this, which is awesome because you're our local business, talk a little bit about that award because, I've traveled all over the country. And when you're in Washington, D.C., you speak of what? You speak of politics. When you want to speak of food and alcohol and drinks, you go to California, specifically San Francisco. That is the capital of the food and beverage area. You got the award in San Francisco. Talk a little about the award.
So the most prestigious spirit competition in the world is the San Francisco World Spirit Competition. And they had a ready-to-drink category, which we, of course, applied to. And there are hundreds of other brands well-known from throughout the world that applied. And we were really excited because we not only got the finalist, we were both finalists. So
you had two products as the finalists, so you were guaranteed to win.
We were guaranteed to win. So it was a very fun experience to go to San Francisco and accept an award in person at their gala. But most flatteringly, again, it's just the fact that this is validation, that authenticity and real ingredients and a no-compromise approach pays off.
Well, we had a number of your drinks. I had the gimlet. I also had that winning one, the espresso as well, which is amazing. Talk a little bit about this because people don't realize this is wonderful, but in this industry, it's very common for people to outsource a lot. And the reality is you don't outsource. You actually manufacture right in-house, and you do it yourself.
Right. And again, the drive for authenticity drove a lot of decisions. And so wanting to use real ingredients, wanting to use real proportions, wanting to use full strength meant that we had to find the package that was best for that. And this can, while common in Asia, is not common in the United States. Fast forward, through a lot of decision-making, we ended up building our own canning line and manning our own canning line and running our own canning line and all the hard work that goes with that. So I certainly feel like I deserved my entrepreneurial credibility by all the hard work and labor put into it. But that being said, it's amazing. It's a great benefit in a lot of ways to be able to do demand planning on a dime, to have product and quality control, and from us just to be able to also manage the cost and give it cheaper to the consumer so that they can encourage impulse buys and get to know us and love us.
Well, it sounds like you're doing everything right, man. Congratulations with everything you've done. How can our listeners and watchers contact you and follow you?
Sir, for contacting me, like we talked about before, LinkedIn is great. Andrew Rodbell, R-O-D as in David, B as in boy, E-L-L. For finding the product, go to pmcocktails.com. And, you can, 3 ways to interact with us. One is to find your local liquor store. And the next is to order online. We can ship these to 40 different states. And lastly, if you're my neighbor like you can just come to our warehouse in our lobby sales and come get it directly from me.
I will be there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, before we break away, I have just one more quick question for you. Andrew's, again, very intelligent. I had the opportunity and pleasure today, as you, Stone, and go back and listen to the show in its entirety, to listen to your thought process. In today's modern world of all of the issues with employees, and if you're out there watching this, for a certainty there is a tremendous issue with employment in this country. How do you maintain that staff? What do you do for your team to maintain not only the high quality, which we know you can produce, but you got to keep your staff happy? How have you done that?
Well, part of it's the business itself. Like, people want to be on a rocket ship,
Oh, I was going to say they're just happy coming and drinking.
Yeah,
Is that not?
Well, there's there
Okay.
too. Yes, exactly. It makes there's the perks are nice. Let's
Fair.
say that way. But no, the other part is it's letting them know that Charles and I can't get there alone, my co-founder. And we definitely need help with having people who are round out our experiences, know what we don't know, help us grow. And we rely on them and let them kind of do their job. But more importantly, we want them to feel part of the team and to take ownership in the success of this. So that's, again, for any company, that's probably good advice. But from our perspective, it also helps to be in a really sexy category.
Yeah, and you make it look sexy as well. So I'll tell you guys, listeners out there, I'm not a big drinker, although apparently this morning I am, and Stone is not a big drinker, but apparently this morning he is as well. The best part about this, I'm telling you, I'm a new fan. It's this simple. Shake can, pour over ice, and drink. I don't have to go manufacture or have this magical equation that you put together to enjoy a spirit and a cocktail that you've already manufactured. I've enjoyed this. I recommend that you do that. And also, don't forget, take a listen to a lot of our other shows, guys, as we wrap this up. We talked today, if you're going to drink, you want to make sure you get the right amount of sleep so you can function the next day. Dr. Michael Bruce, one of my good friends, the leading sleep doctor in the country, go back and look at his podcast. He was an amazing guest, and he talks about if you are going to drink, what you have to do that evening to make sure you can function the next day. Hey. So, guys, check out that podcast. Andrew was awesome. Stone, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today as my co-host.
Having me. Shout out to Charles Sane.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Shout out to the co-founder. That's why you have co-founders, guys. That was your post-show video wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.